Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmal Shah Bashmal Rakak Badash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught me what I now know, and including the bishops on down too, and Yahweh Bashmal Shah Brakatham to the 144,000, and as well as the 1/3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be speaking on this briefly concerning the carnival that we had 2 days ago. They said that a couple of people got stabbed. 330 people got arrested. And what I'm going to say is this, man, is that this is to be expected. Okay? Come on. If you have a large gathering of people and it's called the carnival, if you know your words, which the elder apostles taught us to know our words, right? The word would be flesh. When you look up the word carnival, the meaning of the word carnival would mean the flesh or the raising up of the flesh. Now, the original way they used to say is Carl Lever from the mid-16th century. Carl Lever, which means to raise the flesh. Carl meaning flesh and Lever, which means to raise. They have put away, but they're off on that because the word Lever is reminiscent of the word leverage, which means to raise, or lever. Like, for example, if you have a lever board and you put a load, you put a heavy load of things inside of this particular box, and you put that box on a lever, one side of the lever is going to raise, right? So it means to raise or to rise. It doesn't mean to put away. So that's what the carnival will be based upon. It would be based on you being so fleshly to the point where if you want to do something crazy or you feel like doing something crazy, you're going to do that because you're indulging in the flesh. This kind of event leads people into being indulged in the flesh. All right? So whatever you feel, like I said, you're going to want to do it. Even if it hurts people, even if it hurts yourself, you're going to want to do it because you're feeling it. Right? So let's get this over here. Galatians 5 and verse 19 to be exact. Now the works of the flesh are manifested, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, and lasciviousness. And you wouldn't really care if what you're doing is unclean or not. It doesn't really make a difference because, again, when you're so consumed by your senses, then these things will be done regardless. And then eventually, what tends to happen to people that do wrong without thinking about the wrong that they do, they'll later regret it. But they wouldn't have regretted it before they have done it, which makes them stupid indeed. And we were all once there. We've all done things that we regretted at one time or another, but this is when you're in the world, right? But when you think about it, it's actually silly because if you are going to do something that may land you in jail or may land you to being excommunicated or whatever bad thing that could happen to you, right? You just don't do it because you know the repercussions is going to be. All right? And you got people like that. They know the repercussions of their actions, but they don't really care because they're more sold on their fleshly side than their spiritual side. So what do? They do what feels good to them. So if it feels good to have hatred in their heart against the brother, or if it feels good to commit adultery on a brother's wife or their blood brother's wife, or let's just say some heathen or some other man's wife, they're going to do it. Why? Because according to them, that woman is super fine to the point where it's got the little man sticking up and they hot. All right? And they want to get it on and popping right there, and the girl's willing to do it too. So the same thing with the fruitcake club. All right? Hopefully you brothers understand what I mean by the fruitcake club. But you got grown ass men that fantasize of sleeping with other men. That's of the flesh. And you can't tell them otherwise. Otherwise, they'll call the police on you and say you bugging. So this world purposely forces you to live accordingly to how you feel, according to the flesh. And you got a lot of people that's involved in witchcraft nowadays as well, worshiping other gods, Having hatred against one another, especially among Jake. There's a lot of, that's been going on for ages, but it's kind of starting to die down a little bit, I think. But you've always had this jealousy to the point of hatred against among our people, right? Variances, and as well as even where it concerns the truth that we're involved in, right? Take it away from the world. Let's bring it back to the truth. You even have men that are in these different camps, and they don't want to come to grips with the reality that Great Millstone has the 100% truth. Not bragging or boasting, but I'm just saying because it is the truth. So therefore, they want to be different. They want to come with a different twist to their doctrine because they want to be set apart. They want to be the one to say that they have the real understanding, or they found something that trumps the understanding of what the elder apostles have taught. So you have what? Variances, emulations. Let's look up that word emulation. Zealous. I think that's what you get the word. Yes, zealot minded, right. Excitement of the mind, agile, fervor of spirit, zeal, agile, embracing, pursuing, defending anything. And I mean, it's okay to be zealous. There's nothing wrong with being zealous. But if it's not contained, like, for example, you got certain guys, man, they look at this truth like this Black Panther shit, when in fact the scriptures tells us that we're supposed to be as wise as serpents, harmless as doves. Wrath, strife, seditions, heresies. And that's where Nate comes in, and the ISUBK, all of the rest of these other churches, and also these outsiders that never really came from the One West camps, because you got these outside camps that never were taught by the One West, or that never came up under a One West camp. Let me say it that way. Envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and as such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in the times past, that which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So let's just say you claim to be in the truth, right? But y'all taking part in the carnival every year. You ain't a you can't call yourself a man of the Lord, man. The Lord is not concerned with people like this. People that go to carnival are people that are in the flesh, which makes a whole lot of sense. Thinking people, or people that are spiritual minded like we should be going to these events, because we should already know it doesn't make sense. If we're trying to be the sons of God, it would make sense for us to get caught up in no damn nightclubs, to get caught up in no damn carnivals like these. All right? It doesn't make sense. You can't call yourself a man of the Lord, but then indulging in these kind of events. The only way that you would indulge in these events is if you are carnal. All right? And there was a particular guy, man, that used to be around us that I think personally, now I don't have any evidence on it, but I think this individual was on some carnival shit, man. Cause one of the brothers told me, man, when he was at the hospital, he saw a particular brother dressing like he just came out of a carnival setting, man. You know what I mean? And I mean personally, I never saw the brother look like that, but that's what he said. And brothers were disappointed in this guy, man, because this guy was let's just say this guy was he would say in good standing. Okay? And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Let's go back to the scriptures though. Romans 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritual minded is life and peace. Verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. Absolutely. Because the flesh, again, will imagine if evil. Let's get that in the book of Sirach, 17 and 31. What is brighter than the sun, yet the light thereof faileth, and the flesh and blood will imagine if evil. And that's why also as it is written, flesh and blood will not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. All because of these things that it brings about. That is the evil that it imagines. Right? As the Apostle Paul put it. So there you go. So again, you can't be a man of the Lord and calling yourself going to these carnival settings, man. That's just plain old being a hypocrite. Doesn't make sense. A man of the Lord is going to be spiritual, and he's going to be well prudent, and he's going to basically analyze everything. Like, okay, there's a carnival event. I ain't going to these kind of events because I know that, for one, the word carnival means this, and the whole idea of the carnival, which actually means what it says it is. As you can see, the people, I mean, you got black women showing off their bodies and wearing these weird costumes and these kind of sort of things. And crazy ass jakes, just street minded ass jakes without no care in the world, just doing whatever the hell they feel and what they think. If you put two and two together, come on, like, you should be thinking to yourself, what is the purpose of going into these kind of events as a man of the Lord when there's going to be trouble around? All right. And every year there's trouble around. Someone's getting stood at, which is to be expected. It's not something to be upset about, but it's to be expected about. All right. So moving forward, Jeremiah 17 and verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And that's why you hear people say, well, I'm going to do what I feel. I'm going to do what my heart tells me to do. I'm going to follow my heart and do A, B, and C. Well, as the scripture says, for whatever seemeth right unto a man is the ways of death. Or I can go out and just be a reveler. I can revel at a consistent basis and I'll be fine. I'll be good. Again, that's a fleshly way of thinking. Jeremiah 17 and verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, and who can know it? And I mean, like, you got a lot of people that are young, that are willful, because I'm pretty sure you got parents that would tell their youngins, look, man, don't be going to no carnival, but they don't listen. The kids just do it. These youngins want to do what they want to. They ain't no kids. They're actually adults now. I mean, if you're at the age of 15, if you surpass the age of 12, you're an adult, right? And the way things are in this world, like, if you're at the age of 12 years old, you're still under your parents' household. All right, so your parents still has the power to tell you what to do, right? And so people like these, they go beyond, their parents' ways and do their own thing, which, they're gonna do that because they're on that level of being adults now. Things change. Like, when you have a 9-year-old versus having a 12-year-old, it's different. A 9-year-old is gonna be prone to listening to you, but once your son or your daughter gets to the age of 14, it's different. You can't really tell them what to do like you used to, because now they're under their own judgment. Now they're in the age of judgment, and they can judge for themselves on what they want to do. All right, and at that point, they're basically by themselves. Okay, but still, you still have to honor your parents. According to the law, you have to honor your parents, as it is written. Honor your father honor your father and your mother, and so that your days may be prolonged. All right, so you're supposed to do that. But a lot of these young adults don't listen, and they just do what they want to do, and they want to overcome what their parents have told them, and then all of a sudden they get caught in the situation that their parents told them not to get caught into in the first damn place. And that's just the thing, man. What you're gonna get out of stuff like this is violence. Again, something's gonna be had. It's to be expected. I can't say any longer. Now, that's all I have to say with this. I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmal, Shah Bashmal Rakak, Quadashim. With that, I'm out. Shalom.